welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group, and this week I'm joined by, as always,
Ben Montoya, the friend of the show.
Ian Davis, the Isaac Tigrette of the show.
Interesting.
And I'm Evan Aubrey. I don't have a fun thing to say this week.
Your one last week was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
This week on the show, we've hit a wall made of rocks.
How many rock facts are going to be in this show?
Oh, tons.
So many
rock facts. And here's the thing, guys. We knew this was coming. We, deep down in our hearts, we felt a rock in our stomach. And that rock came up in the form of Geodude. That's right.
As a kidney stone.
Exactly.
Oh, no. That's my worst nightmare.
So this week is the kidney stone really your worst nightmare? I mean, it's bad.
It's definitely
but
up. Yeah, it's pretty up there. I don't know. Name something worse.
I mean,
dying.
there's many worse diseases than kidney stones.
Measles?
Not a kidney
polio?
stones with eyes and two arms.
Yeah. No, if your kidney stones were Geodudes, that would be something to be concerned about.
Just punching from the inside.
Exactly.
Oh, God. That would be
Alien
terrifying.
style, it just...
They explode
Alien
out of your
style, it just
kidneys.
Ooh,
rips.
gross.
Yeah.
We're talking about Geodude today. We have to cook Geodude. Geodude, a rock with a face. That's literally all it is. There's nothing more to it. There's nothing less to it. And it's going to be, it's our toughest challenge yet. If we were on Chopped, this would be the round we all got, kicked out of the kitchen, honestly. So I want to know what your guys' best recipe for Geodude is. Who has the best recipe?
Who has the best?
Who has the best?
Yeah.
Ben, why don't you start us this
I can
week?
start. It's been a while since I've started off. I feel like starting off, you kind of have a disadvantage, but
It's an instant lose. I have never won one where I went first, I think.
well, there you go.
Or it's an
Okay.
instant win because you beat someone else out for the recipe.
Okay, well, I can take the L on this one. I don't feel too invested in this one. But it comes from my favorite food group, which is of course breakfast food. So okay, Geodude, right? Rock, arms. What's inside though? Because what's inside a regular Geode is a bunch of crazy shit. Like some crystals and some formations and all sorts of cool shit. So I'm hypothesizing that within the Geodude there is a fleshy, perhaps maybe even goopy texture core.
Would you say nougaty?
I wouldn't say nougaty, only for the sole purpose that I am imagining that this rock Pokemon is actually an egg inside.
Oh.
So what a twist.
Yeah. What we're going to be making is soft-boiled Geodude for your breakfast, for a ground type breakfast bowl, and I'll walk you through it just a little bit, because you might be saying that doesn't make any sense. And you might have also heard this ghost that's in my room. It's like, I'm hungry. Okay. So on the inside, some sort of weird meat, right, while it's alive. But we're going to boil that. Well, how do you guys feel about soft-boiled eggs? Because I feel like hard-boiled eggs are definitely a standard for a lot of people. But
I have a
Is
question.
a soft-boiled egg gooey on the inside?
I have a
When you crack it
question.
open? Got it.
Even going before that, you said that. Do you think eggs have meat on the inside? Because the way you described the Geodude as an egg is that it's got a meaty interior. I don't know if I would go that far for a regular egg.
It has a goopy, liquidy sort of texture on the inside.
Okay.
Is what I'm imagining.
All right.
So that when
Okay.
you would perhaps put it in a pot of boiling water for 12 minutes or something like that, it would kind of make that egg type of congealing consistency, and then where its brain is or whatever is at the very center would have sort of a goopy egg yolky type of viscosity.
And
Yes.
is this going to be prepared like you said, it's soft boiled? Will you have an egg cup that you stick the Geodude in, and then you
Oh, a cute little egg cup.
you clink it with a spoon until it cracks open, and then you slurp out the egg?
No, we're not doing that. You're gonna boil your Geodudes, so then you have your little soft boiled egg thing. And I like soft boiled eggs better than hard boiled eggs because it has yolk, the yolk that you can kind of soak some stuff up with. And so get a bowl with some Diglett potatoes, hash browns, if you will, some Rhyhorn bacon, if you want callbacks to all our other episodes.
Nice.
And then you throw your big-ass Geodude soft-boiled egg in there, mix it all up, put some fucking green chili on there. Oh, man, you just made my breakfast. Or I just made your breakfast. There you go.
Now, as we always have to contend with the size of Pokemon on this show.
Yeah, it's true.
Geodude is about 1 foot in diameter and weighs 20 pounds.
It's a big egg to crack.
How would this factor into your breakfast?
Well, into my breakfast, I think it's going to have to be maybe a pretty big bowl. Or maybe you just share it with 2 people. You have like 2 halves of the egg in each little bowl. You know, I'm not really sure, but I did think about this part, which is that after you boil it, you use the like limp arms to like crack it open.
Oh my god.
You just make it like punch itself in the face.
Exactly, yeah. And then it all falls out into your bowl.
So another question about the egg anatomy of the Geodude. Where does its mouth go?
Oh, good question.
Maybe
And its eyeballs.
back to,
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
going back to like the starfish concept, what if like it digests its food through its hands and then it just like shits out of its fingers?
Oh no.
Are you saying it has an external stomach, much like a starfish?
Yeah.
It eats with its
goes,
hands.
"Bleh."
Yeah, and then it only uses its mouth for shitting and speaking.
Yes. Aren't those the same thing, Ben?
Politics.
I didn't say anything about anything, Ian Davis.
I know where you're going, Jeremy.
So yeah, that's my creative offering for you. Dear listener.
How do you get its arms off to break it open?
No, you're not getting the arms stay on. You're just
Okay.
using its its
grab
residual
it.
muscles to like. I'm doing a lot of. I wish that you could see exactly what I'm doing. I'm like raising my arm and smacking my head multiple times to try to get across the idea that you're using its arm as the way to
it's
crack
like-
it open.
It's
Like
in
when you
Fight
eat
Club.
crab. It's like when you eat crab and then you pull off the claws and then you mess with the tendons to make its pinchers go together. You're doing that.
Oh, it's like
with
when
its
you-
arms.
Or when you put some salt on a dead squid and like wiggles around.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Or like you're in the car with your younger sibling and then you like grab their hand and you're like, stop hitting yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of like
More like that, yeah.
Because if I ever had a younger sibling, my little bro Geodude, and he came out of my mother's womb, and it was just like, wow, he's so spherical, and he floats.
And he floats.
Do
Yeah.
they float?
Yes, they do. It's
In
weird.
the game they float, but in the anime they're pretty much on the ground.
Yeah, that was
that-
something that I was thinking
Is
about.
that true?
They walk like on their elbows.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
It's terrifying, actually. I was wondering, like, it probably makes more sense in the game to not have them look like weird fucking rock spiders or something, because they like
Right.
their arms are like their main sorts of transportation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They seem kind of crippled because of like their ability to move in that way. It seems like it would be very difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really see it as a handicap. They think you just they get forearms in their next
climb
evolution. So like,
everywhere.
I find it interesting that they evolve basically into what looks like a rock snake like kind of situation where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
its final evolution has like a very like snake like front and it's like has like scales in its rocks.
Right.
I wonder what the old Geodudes had to fuck to get to that, that position.
Sometimes I lay in bed at night.
I think about it. Well, I mean, we all went to middle school. We had to make a Punnett square, so we had to really think about the genetics of a Geodude.
in the flavor text, they talk about how like over time the Geodude gets rounder and smoother. you
Yes.
Yeah,
know? But we all know why. It's because they're just geo porking each other, smoothing each other out.
Rocking,
And on that
rocking the
note-
boat.
who wants to go next?
Getting their rocks off.
I can go. Oh god. I can go next. So we can get away from that as quickly as possible. Okay. So for my recipe, I'm using the Alolan Geodude,
Ooh.
which
nice.
is electric and rock. So it's instead of ground and rock, it's electric and rock.
Yeah.
And it's also one of my favorites because it's basically the Wooly Willy of Pokemon because it has eyebrows and like a mohawk, and that's all little bits of iron that are like attracted to bits on its face, like the magnet toy. So it's basically like a Wooly Willy. And that just really spoke to me. Okay, so for my recipe, it's pretty simple. All you're gonna do. So let me give you some flavor text for some background here.
Lay it on me.
So one of the Pokédex entries says, if you step on a sleeping Geodude, you'll hear a snap and your body will go numb from its electrical discharge. So just keep that in mind as I set up my recipe here. Step 1, take your Alolan Geodude. Step 2, crush it into pieces.
Oh.
Just like little bite-sized pieces.
There you go.
I know where
Step
this is
3,
going.
put it in your mouth because
Yes.
you got pop rocks.
Ah, yes. Oh, that's so good. Oh, man.
And your mouth just goes numb. You just
Yeah.
Would you have would you serve this with a Coca-Cola on the side?
Oh, absolutely. Just destroy the inside of your mouth.
Well, see, that's an interesting proposal because these pop rocks explode because of electricity, where the other ones explode because of a chemical reaction. So I don't know if Coke would affect it in the same way.
Oh.
Maybe not. But
I mean, there'd be
worth a
more
try.
liquid, right?
Yeah. Ian Davis is confounded that I destroyed his Coke.
I'm trying to. There's like I don't know if you guys can pinpoint this for me, but there was like a children's TV show where I distinctly remember there being like a candy they would eat that was like sort of like electrical in nature. Is that ring any-
Warhead?
What?
Gushers.
Gosh,
No. It's a fake thing on this TV. I don't know if it was like Codename Kids Next Door or like Code Lyoko or something.
Oh no, I totally
But-
know what you're talking about. I
Wait,
think
Yeah.
so
it's
Yeah.
Codename
they like
Kids Next
eat it
Door.
and they like
Or
freak out or something?
Dexter's Lab, maybe.
My
Oh
laboratory.
no, Jimmy Neutron.
Oh,
He is the-
yes. I know what you're talking about, and it makes their brain like.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I don't remember all the plot points to Jimmy Neutron.
That's right. They were trying to perfect the perfect candy, and they had all the
Yeah.
different like things your taste buds could taste.
Yeah.
And then they put too much sour in, and it was like shocking
Yeah.
yourself.
Got a
It was
blast.
really just Geodude the whole time.
Yeah. Wow, that is an awesome recipe, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plain and
It's
simple.
it's really
uses
not a
the whole
recipe.
hog.
Hey,
It's a recipe.
back
Throw
off.
some flavoring on there, and you're that's a recipe.
Would you put some like a lime salt on it, mix it together kind of situation?
Ooh yeah, that'd be
Tahini.
good. Some chili powder, some
Yeah.
lime salt. Maybe you get
yeah.
like a Mexican Geodude rock candy going on.
Nice.
That'd be good. You
Is,
crush up the Geodude, you put it on a rim of a margarita glass.
Ooh.
You're living on island time.
There you go.
His facial hair magnets like turn to a big mustache.
Oh no.
Face.
Yes.
You must stop.
Well, I was gonna. Oh, geez. I was gonna say something, and I completely forgot. So let's keep going. Maybe it'll come up. Maybe it'll come up again later.
Jeremy, why don't you give us your recipe?
Well, I was approaching this slightly differently. I was looking at the Geodude, and I was thinking to myself, is there anything just from looking at it that we can eat already? And the only answer is its eyes. So,
Oh god.
so I was like, what can we do with its eyes? And I started to look up recipe for eyes, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't just be like, oh, what's the best way to boil your cow's eyes to like make them little poppy delights
Ooh.
to like shove into your face. And I was like, no, I'm gonna be more fantastical because this show is anything but realistic. So
Yeah.
we need to go on a grand flight of fancy. So join me if you will. Imagine if you will that the eyes of a Geodude are like a fibrous root. A fibrous root known as tapioca.
Oh no!
Oh, I like where this is going.
And you pop out those Geodude eyes and you stick them at the bottom of an iced tea.
I was wondering if you're doing this.
Oh.
You cover it up with a piece of plastic and you get a giant straw. Boom, you got Geodude boba tea. And you open a store and it says this tea rocks and it's made out of rocks.
There you go.
Ooh, nice.
Man, I have a question.
Yes.
So I've, from time to time, been known to consume this quote-unquote boba tea.
Bubble tea.
And The fun part for me is you have like your straw and you're like, loop, and you get the little bobas up in your, and then you like almost choke on them, but then it's like a thrill, you know, the thrill of the chase.
For thrill seekers only.
I mean, you almost die every time.
Would you have a straw big enough to? His eyes are pretty big. Like, is it like a?
Well, you see, actually, in Davis, they are the Geodude's only 1 foot in diameter, so his eyes are much smaller than we'd normally. It's only a little bit larger than a normal human head. So
that's already a big straw.
Yeah, that's do you know how big our eyes are?
I know, and I was thinking, I knew you were going to bring this up, so I planned ahead. So you get your eyes, and then you bring out your favorite kitchen utensil. What's that? A melon baller. Slurp, 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 plop, plop, plop. You're good to go. And since a Geodude's made out of rocks, I'm assuming its eyes are a little tougher than your normal eyes. So they would be... everyone's making an ugly face at me.
Well, yeah, because you're... Okay, go on.
You're eating eyeballs, but continue.
But so I imagine that it would be well suited in tea because like the moisture would soften it. So you don't want something that's already too soft to start with because it becomes mushy. But I think these will be the perfect consistency for your boba tea.
Can I ask one question? Not specifically, about your recipe.
Yeah.
Geodude. Eyelids or no?
No eyelids.
He's just staring the whole time.
Imagine you're walking in to your
room
somewhere. You're going on a hike. And you enter a cave, and you just see a bunch of Geodudes staring at you. But they're not. But they're not.
Evan's face was so good. You all missed it.
But they
sorry, listeners.
But my point is that they sleep with their eyes open and they're just all staring at you, but they're asleep.
Oh, no.
Well, so in the flavor text it said that when they're asleep they get mistaken for rocks.
Yes.
So maybe there is eyelids.
That does imply that there are eyelids.
Or maybe they just they make a point to bury themselves face down, because otherwise if it was face up they're sleeping and their eyes are just up and you accidentally slip out their eyeball.
Like you have
You're
no, I could have put that in my drink. What am I doing?
You have your spiky cleats on, and you just squish in their eyes the whole way up the mountain.
Man, I knew I shouldn't have worn these stilettos on our hike.
Oh, wow. Man.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I think that's a good question for Pokemon moving forward is eyelids or no?
Eyelids or no?
I'll say no, because then the eyelids would have to be made out of a rock, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
That's true. Yeah.
I've also never seen them close their eyes. I know they close their eyes in the very anime styling of it just turns into a line situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or little swirlies when they faint.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. Or little crosses when they're when they die.
Dead.
Hashtag dead. All right, Ian Davis, what's your recipe?
Well, I would like to point out that I think this is the first time I've gone last.
Oh,
I know.
Wow.
Look at you.
Switching things
Bringing up the rear.
Yeah. It's great. I saw it. All right. Yeah. So I am the Isaac Tigret or Tigray. I don't really know too much. I mean, the dude was born in the U.S., in Tennessee or something. Yeah. So I don't know how fancy we can make his name here. But he is, as I'm sure you know, one of the co-founders of the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh,
shit.
Take me there.
That's right. I sold the Fuegos. They weren't winning any games, and I bought the Hard Rock Cafe franchise.
Nice.
So I do have 2 recipes, and I think the second one's kind of fun. It's the one I'm not going to do, but I would like to share it maybe at the end if that's acceptable. Because I was concerned you're going to take...
Which one are you going to submit as your official recipe?
All right. This is the one I'm about to do. I'll submit to you.
Locking in.
So I want to start with a little folktale.
Is it about
It's going to be an
trivia?
hour-long episode.
Is it
Growing
stone
up in
soup?
God damn.
Did I steal it?
Yeah, Ben, it's stone soup. All right, yeah. There you go. I'm done. Let's vote now. It's over. Let's recap.
Well, it's the only rock-related folktale I know.
You son of a bitch.
Ian, I want to hear your story.
So there's a witch, and she lives in a house, and she makes a lot of pasta.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm crying.
Man, you better like pull out your brain canvases because I'm gonna paint you a fucking picture right now. I grew up with the
Canvas
story.
is deployed.
Growing up in the alternative schooling system, we would consume a lot of stone soup. Okay.
This will protect you from measles, unlike vaccinations.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
So.
Oh, no.
Here's the. All right. This is the story. So basically, imagine there's a person. Maybe their name is Soot, like instead of Ash, and
Soot
he
must
comes to
Soot
a
got
town.
him. It's me, Soot got him. I got them all.
Yeah. Gotta gather them. Gotta gather most of them.
Yes.
So he comes to town and he's really hungry. He's a
I mean, he's a
he
child.
lives on the road.
He's a hungry boy.
Yeah. He's a hungry boy, and he goes from house to house, and he's like, "Please, can I need some food?" And they're like, "No, this Stormy Gusher is mine." He goes to the next house. And they're like, no way! Like these are my Santru Falupa leftovers. You can't have these. Like, and this keeps going like house after house, and he's really hungry and dejected and stuff. And then he comes up with this plan. So what he does is he gets a pot, a big metal pot.
Sure.
And he finds his favorite Geodude and he sticks that in the pot.
My favorite
And he goes,
one.
exactly. And then he goes around again and he says, "Hey, I'm making Geodude soup. Would you be able to like offer something to help make the soup?" Or I think he's like, "Oh, like, well, I'm gonna make this soup for you, but I need you to like.
I
give
need a
me some good,"
carrot,
so
or I need a Diglett.
yeah.
Fucking...
So like people
There's
give
no
them
fucking
their
carrots, Ben.
odyshes. Give him an Oddish, give him a Diglett, what have
Yeah.
you. And he goes around, and then he goes to the river, and he fills it up with water, and then he boils it, and then he shares it with everyone, and it really drives home, that food is a communal experience. And I think that recipe really, it's probably what inspired all of us to create this show, and all the listeners
I mean,
to
yeah.
listen in,
Oh my god.
Ian, this sounds like some sort of weird, communist folktale. Are you trying to indoctrinate us into alternative schooling?
I mean, the Poke Centers are free, am I right?
It's true.
True.
It's true. What has the Poke government not done for you, Jeremy?
Yeah, my Pokeballs are subsidized, just like yours.
No, we have to pay money for them.
Yeah,
Pay
but
good money for
they're
those.
literally cheaper than like a bottle of lemonade.
You
so-
think you're paying retail price for that? Come on, man.
I have a question. So everyone makes the joke that the Pokemon world has universal health care, but it doesn't. It has universal veterinary care. We
Well-
don't know what the actual systems are in place for real doctors in this world.
That's true.
Well,
Real people
they
don't
don't-
get hurt.
Exactly.
what they don't tell you is that at birth you are assigned a Pokeball that you can be put into. And your mom takes you to the Pokemon Center and heals you up. We were the pocket monsters the whole time.
My son's been at 1 HP this whole time. Please save him.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's, in essence, that's my recipe. You get like maybe you get like a really big pot and you get like a ton of Geodudes. And the way, like, I think, in ancient times, you heat up the rocks on the fire, and then you take these really hot rocks and you put them in the water, and that boils. Like, you don't even need fire underneath the pot. Like,
That's
is how
true.
you
Wait,
heat.
but you need fire to heat up the rocks.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, maybe you heat them up and they have their hands outside of the fire, and then you like, do-si-do them right into the pot.
Grab him by the
And,
hands.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love a
and-
good square dance with a round dude.
And yeah, so like it would impart like some earthy like flavors. You'd get like your iron for the day. I imagine your eyes would probably boil out of like it'd be a very thick broth.
Yeah. Gelatin like.
Oh no.
Almost, but maybe you skim like the top with a ladle, like you get all the excess goodies, and then you share it with your friends, your family, your fans.
Yeah. You bring
So,
everyone
are you
together.
literally
It's-
eating rocks for stone soup?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Just
Evan,
the
no.
water.
Did you not listen to my tale?
Does it need to
You put in
tell
all
it
the-
again?
I
You
mean,
put in all the vegetables and stuff, and like the soup is more to like bring people together, and it's also just like a fun I always enjoyed making stone soup at my alternative schooling.
Oh, I see.
Because we had like we had our soup rock, and you stick it in the pot, and it's fun.
See, Evan, the stone
is
soup
kinda
is a
cute.
metaphor.
Well, it's the message behind the story is like, even if no one has anything, you can make food with everybody. Like,
Exactly.
got it.
yeah, this guy was like, I just have
yeah.
some fucking rocks, and then they just called it stone soup to make him feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the time when I was in kindergarten and I took a trip out to a historical monument in New Mexico called Chaco Canyon with a school group, and I ate so much dirt I threw up, and that's
This is pretty
No one
similar,
stopped you?
actually.
Yeah, exactly
Exactly.
the same thing.
and it was a teaching moment, I think, in my life, and that's dirt's not great.
Did you eat dirt afterwards?
I don't think. I think. Not
Think you learned your lesson.
consciously. Exactly.
Did you think that because it was called Chaco Canyon, the dirt was made out of chocolate, and so you were like, "This is going to be delicious"?
No, I think what actually happened is we did a lot of like we're cooking by the fire or whatever, and like I kept dropping my hot dog on the ground. It's like it's okay, it's still good, and just like snarfing it down.
Wow.
5-second rule.
Yeah, it's basically the same as Ian's story. Ian, what's your second recipe?
Yeah.
So my second recipe is kind of fun too.
Well, I hope
It's
so.
it's more of a recipe than the first one. I just really like the stone soup recipe, and I try to like bring who I am to the podcast. You know, I open up my soul to the fans. This recipe. So I one time on the internet, I read this fun conspiracy theory that rocks are actually soft and they just tense up when you touch them. What? They don't like being touched.
How is that a conspiracy
So-
theory that actually exists?
So what I'd like to think is like if you snuck up on the Geodude, you could like stab it in the head and like it would just go limp.
Oh,
And then I would grind them up and make like little Geodude meatballs, and they'd look like little tiny mini Geodudes. And I thought that would have been fun.
Is this like when you make a chicken nugget shaped like dinosaurs?
No, they're round because Geodudes are round, and that's the joke. But I like that conspiracy theory a lot, and every time I pick up a rock or I step on a rock, I think like, oh, like
This rock
am I
could have
making
been
you uncomfortable? Yeah,
It's
Do you
like
think just the Earth is squishy when you're not around it?
probably. I mean, there's just so many people on this goddamn planet. How could we know? We all need to leave so we can.
God damn it. Wow.
Wow, what a world! So let's recap
God.
the recipes we had this week.
Oh no.
oh boy.
From Ben, we have a Geodude soft boiled egg. From Evan, we have Geodude Pop Rocks. From me, you have Geodude Boba Tea. And from Ian Davis, we have Geodude Stone Soup. A story about a witch that made some pasta, and it
That's
just
not the story.
Wrong. You keep saying that.
So who do you want to win this week's episode of I Choose You?
I like Ben's recipe. I'm a fan of a
Ooh.
good soft boiled egg. A
There you go.
Little UK breakfast.
Ding ding ding.
Go blimey.
Oh man, this is a hard one. I'm feeling definitely not Jeremy. I don't want to eat some fucking eyeballs. Though I do like
Oh
the
my
creativity. I think like your rationale, your selling it was, you sold it, but not.
Could taste exactly like boba. You never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's true.
If eyeballs
pretty
tasted exactly like tapioca, would you not eat them?
Oh, I'd
I'd
suck
eat
them
that in
right
a
out
heartbeat.
people's heads.
Oh my god. And as much as I share an affinity for stone soup with Ian Davis, I had that book as a child, so I know.
Just
Didn't know it was
ruin
a
the
book.
whole thing.
I think I
Spoilers.
might go for Evan's. So that's the thing is Evan won last week too, but the
Oh.
Pop Rocks idea is so smart. Like, I was trying to talk with Asia about it, and she was like, "You should grind it up and turn it into a spice or something." But I think, dude, they're the natural Pop Rock.
Just break your teeth right off.
All natural pop rock.
Yeah.
All right, Ian.
I am gonna have to give Evan the vote because I think I imagine like if you had a real sweet tooth, maybe you pull out your Starmie Gusher and you have your Geodude rock candies, and your Sody Pop.
Sody Pop.
Sody pop.
Yeah.
But Jeremy's a close second for me.
I'll also go vote to Evan, so we don't have to
Wow.
this week.
Man,
but
that's 2 times in a row.
Yeah, but
I appreciate it. I'd like to thank the Academy.
Yeah, it really. We should rewrite. So new music project. Rewrite the Rock Candy Mountain like folk song, but make it about Geodude.
Oh yes, all about Geodude.
Exactly. I think that will really, hit to the heart of our fan base.
Yeah.
So now it's time to move on. Unfortunately, we have no mail this week, so we will not open the mail but Ben wants to say something.
No, we did get some. It wasn't an email. It was a visual email, maybe, if you'd say.
Did we get a visual email?
All email is visual, Ben. You have to read the fucking words. No, but are you talking about our first piece of I Choose You fan art, Ben?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Hell yeah,
we got
man.
Fan art.
So if you're interested, you should visit I Choose You on Twitter, which is at I Choose Pod on Twitter, and you can see a piece of fan art by Twitter user Deckard T. Bechard, which is DECKARD TBECHARD, and it has a Mr. Mime cooking a slowpoke tail with a little sticker in his hat that has the name of our show.
Yes.
And it's cute and fun, and I had a great time looking at it.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was awesome.
We love you.
We love you. He does a bunch of other art too. I think he has a DeviantArt link on his Twitter. So
Yeah, please follow him.
Yeah, go check him out. He does a bunch of other cool Pokemon stuff too.
Yeah, and now it brings us to the time of the show where we pick out next week's Pokemon.
My dog just threw up, guys.
Oh no!
Oh,
So
too much rock candy.
quick, Evan, give me a number.
Random number generator. Here we go. And it is number 99.
99.
99.
Gloom.
Oh, this guy's gonna be easy. We're gonna have just the fucking easiest time
Horsey.
next week. No, next week's Pokemon. It is an ocean themed Pokemon. It's Kingler, a crab Pokemon.
Okay.
Nice.
Here we go.
So
After
it's just-
cooking rocks.
We're finally gonna get a real fucking animal to put in our fucking mouths. So we'll do the plugs quickly so Evan can clean up his dog vomit.
Wait, hold on. Before we do the plugs, shouldn't we talk about a video that
Oh yes,
we've...
yes. If you haven't been following us on Twitter, you might have missed this, but we are starting to make video versions of all of our episodes. So when you hear this episode, the Seal video will be coming out soon, and you can also check out the Starmie video. That's also on our YouTube channel. Yeah,
They're really funny. They got some good visual jokes.
yeah. My girlfriend Asia edited the video, and it's pretty good. It's if you've already listened to the episode, you could also check out the video because there's some different sort of jokes in there, and of course all
out of it every time.
Yeah, all that stuff that we talk about that's how it looks, and we're looking at pictures, and I'm sure you get frustrated. You can watch a video now.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to finalize this. You can follow us on Twitter at iChoosePod. That's ICHEWSPOD. You can email us at iChoosePod@gmail.com. You can find us anywhere you find podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and any podcast app of your choice. And we're now on YouTube as previously announced. And for I Choose You, I've been Jeremy Zielik.
Ben Montoya, the friend of the show.
Ian Davis, the Isaac Tigray of the show.
And Evan Aubrey, the hat trick -1 winner of the show. I was trying to formulate that in my head, and it didn't go so well.
Next time.
I won twice.
Yeah, you're the first one to get to 6 too. You're the first one that has a full team.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really bad team.
Anyway,
For all the listeners there out in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
Yeah, I choose you. Here we go. Everybody wants to be a master chef. Everybody wants to show their skills in the kitchen. Everybody wants to cook it faster. Make their way to the top of the grill. Each time you fry, gonna cook it just a little bit better. Each taste you try, one more step up the ladder. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. It's a whole new taste with a brand new recipe, but you still gotta chew them all and be the best that you can be.